of thought.
Get ready.
Open your mind.
Lady, cat, lady, class, lady, Kendra, the unicorn four.
Open your mind.
You know.
Thursday. Unicorn four.
Open your mind.
Lady, class, lady, Kendra, lady, cat, lady, the unicorn four.
Open your mind. Open your mind. Open your mind. Open your mind.
Peace, folks, and welcome back to another edition of the Prophet of Thought series right here on the old TPO T YouTube page. I'm your host, X, of course, but you knew that already. That's why you're here. And of course, my black ass is running late, like always. Like always. I'm just now sending the unicorns the link. They're probably like, what the hell is going on? What the hell is X doing up in that motherfucker? I actually have a good reason, y'all. I have a good reason for being late today. Actually, today I had to go and I had to pick my baby up from South Carolina. She was down there with her boyfriend, and she wanted to come from down there for whatever reason. I don't know what's going on with those two, but I had to go down there and get her, and my grandbaby. So that's why I'm running late. And I just now got her out of here because I had to get my lady to take her down to the bus stop because actually she's going back. She's going back to New York. So that's why I'm late, y'all. So don't be mad at me. Do not be mad at me, people. But tonight is the night we always looking forward to. Thursday nights, of course. The Unicorn 4, T.L.O.T, the Ladies of Thought, live and direct like every Thursday. We look forward to these Thursdays. I know I do. I look forward to these Thursdays all the time. I can't wait till Thursday come because these ladies come on here and they just drop it, in a way that I've never seen women talk before. So, it's a really good thing that every Thursday night you got the Ladies of Thought up here dropping some jewels. And tonight we got a really, really good show for y'all tonight. Tonight we will be talking the Black family. Yeah, that's right. The Black family. We're going to get into what the Black family consists of. We also going to get into, what makes family, who is family. Is family just people that are related to you? Can they be your friends? Can they be your neighbors? Can they be the fools that you work with? I mean, we're going to get into all of that. But we're going to be talking about the Black family. Don't get it twisted, because up here, we talk about stuff that concerns Black folks. So that's what we're gonna do tonight, y'all. Um, like I said, tonight, well, last night. Well, let me talk about last night. Last night was a really, really, really good show. It was really compelling. Those of you who wasn't here, you missed a really, really good show. I had Miss Nigeria Avery on, and also Mrs. Delphine Robinson on. Two ladies, both of their sons were killed by the police. So, you know, they were on telling their stories, talking about their Keepers of the Pain campaign and their Million Mom March. It's crazy that there is so many people who are amongst the ranks of people who have had their sons killed by the police. So many that they actually are going to group up and see how many people they can get. And it's crazy because it'll probably be like in the thousands. You know, you're talking about 1,000 mothers and fathers who are going to be able to like actually get together and march on Washington for this. So, I mean, that's something to think about when you put it into context, man. It really, really is. But yeah. So, hey, Lady Ming, I see you down there.
Hey, how are you?
I'm good. I'm good. Always first, boy. That's the first unicorn.
Even when we late.
All the time, even when my black ass is late, Lady Ming is up in here. And it's crazy, you know why? Because usually I don't because I do it alphabetically. I have y'all all set up in drafts, and it's alphabetical. So you
So I'm
actually
last.
yes. She gets the link last, but she comes in first. Okay.
Yeah, that's funny.
That lets you know how hardcore Lady Ming is, y'all. That just lets y'all know. Lady Cats, I see you down there.
Hello.
Hey,
How are
what's
Hey,
going
y'all?
Kat.
on? What's going
I'm
on?
good.
Good.
Yeah, I was just talking to the peeps, telling them about what was going on last night. Actually, both of those ladies got in contact with me today. They sent me some pictures to put on the tribute to the fallen carousel. So I have to do that. Yeah, I got to do that. I'm running a little behind because I had to go pick up my baby, y'all, from South Carolina, and then I tried to convince her to stay. She didn't want to stay. She's like, "Oh no, Dad." So I had to go ahead and who the hell is Doobie Dreadlocks? Who the hell is that? Somebody just popped up in here named Doobie Dreadlocks.
I
Did y'all
saw
see
that
that?
too. I
Y'all see
saw it
that?
for like a
Who the hell?
couple of
Mm-hmm.
seconds.
Who the hell is Doobie Dreadlocks?
Mhm.
Yeah, I had to go. I had to go get my baby from South Carolina. Her and her boyfriend had a falling out. So she called me this morning crying, "Oh, Dad, can you come and get me?" So I had to come drive down there, get her ass, bring her back up here. And she's been here all day. And I tried to get her convinced her to stay because I want her to come work for me. But of course, she said no. Yeah, she said no. And so I had to take her down to she's got to go down to the Greyhound station, to catch the bus. She's like, "Oh, Dad, I want to go back to New York." So like, I'm like, "All right, you're gonna wish you came down here and help your old man work if I have a heart attack in my shop because I ain't had nobody down there do my books for me, girl." You're gonna wish you had stayed. But yeah, that's why I'm late, y'all. So I actually have a really, really good excuse tonight. Well, tonight I want to talk about, as y'all can see, the title, the Black family. All right. And let's get these damn likes, man. Look at that. Y'all know I don't like the damn watch numbers to exceed the like numbers. Y'all know I don't like that. All right. And also, while you're hitting that button, let me see if I can get you to hit this button here. See if I can open up the damn. Yeah, this computer moving slow as hell tonight, man. Jesus Christ, what the hell's going on? Extremely, extremely slow. Yeah, but I wanted to talk about this tonight because I don't think we talk about this kind of stuff enough. I mean, we talk about a lot of shit on media, but often we don't talk about these kind of things. We don't talk about the things with deep substance, and we don't talk about the things that actually will make a difference. If what we're talking about is applied, that is, I mean, you can talk about shit all day, but if people ain't applying it, it ain't gonna do nobody no damn good. It's just not. So I want to talk about this tonight because I think there is a breakdown, as far as the black family is concerned. I think that is the bane of black society. I think that if there were more structure to black families, I think things would be a little different. Things would be a little different for black folks. Um, not only would they be a little different for black folks, I think it would be a little different for black society on a whole if we had not just more families, but more understanding of family and more, I don't know, more of a family kind of mind state as black people. I think we need more of a family mind state. I think that we've lost that. I think we've lost that. I really do. I think we've lost it. I think we've lost all I think we've lost not just the family mind state. I think we've lost the family sense as black people. I mean, you hear people come on here and they be like, "Hey, what's up, black family? Peace, black family." We kind of throw that word family around a lot, but
Mm-hmm.
I think we overuse it sometimes. I think we kind of overuse it, and I think we misconstrue the word sometimes. Me, that's just my personal opinion. I mean, y'all may disagree, but I think we kind of throw that word around, kind of haphazardly. So and we
Mm-hmm.
still ain't got Lady Classic or Lady Kendra down there yet, huh? Um, well, I guess I'll just go in and start off. What does family mean to you, ladies? When you think the word family, what do you think? What does that mean to you?
When I came in the chat room tonight, I said, "Hey, family,"
Mm,
because you guys are my virtual family, or have become a lot of you in the chat room, listening on the playback, or definitely on the panel. Um, I agree that it's overused sometimes, especially when you have those people who are disingenuous when they're saying it. What comes to mind off top is like, say, hoteps. When you encounter some of them and they're just, spewing this stuff that is rehearsed, and hey, Black Queen, you're my family, all this other stuff. Yeah, that time, you're right. I agree. It's overused and definitely misused. But to me, when I think of family, I think of a community or a collective of people whom I share some things with, some sort of ties with. Not just blood, because that's the family you're born into, but that's not necessarily the family you leave with. So, and I have a lot of families. I have my actual, my of course, the family I've created with my husband and my children. Of course, I have my siblings and my parents, and then if I take it even further out, the people I grew up with, the people I went to school with, my sorority sisters. When I lived on the East Coast, though, that was my family. And like I said, you guys here. So I think it's definitely a tie that binds, even though sad to say is oftentimes a tie that's also broken. But I think at the center of it, it's about the community at the center of it. That's family. Sitting around having a good meal together, fellowshipping, breaking it down, building. Those are people that share the same ideologies and outlooks, and sometimes circumstances. That's family. People that can hurt you, people you care about. You know, that's family. You know, I can go on and on and on, but overall, that would be what I would call family.
Yeah, I agree. I think there's the family that, you're related to, the family you don't really choose, and then there's the family which is just the people you get really close to and create bonds with, and you know sometimes you feel closer to them than your actual family. So yeah, family to me would just be a group of people that you're really super close connected with. Hello.
Well, hi. I think now it's funny because I kind of had a similar discussion in Discord one day. I think it was with DMV Nitro. And he was saying, I was saying that for me, my family, like my best friend and my godson, are my family. And we were talking about it, and he said, well, my family should be, say, my husband, and whatever kids I have, that should be who I consider my family, and then everyone else is extended. And the way I said it was, well, no, to me, my husband and whatever children we produce are part of me. Like, there's no separation. They aren't my family. They aren't one step removed from me. They are me. And so my family are the people who are that one step right outside of me, that I hold in the highest esteem and regard, that I have the love for, that I want to support, that want to support me, that there's a circle of trust. Even if it's sometimes trusting someone to be who they are, because I know who you are above all else. And that's another thing. There's that level of comfort of me being able to be who I am in an unadulterated way and feel that there isn't going to be judgment. There isn't going to be some type of punishment because I'm not this and I'm not that. Your family's a place where you can kind of let your hair down, and they're letting their hair down, and you don't have to like them all the time, and you don't have to agree with them all the time, and you don't have to look at them as though they are some type of shiny ideal. These are the people that when they are who they are, whether you love them or hate them right now in this moment, you love them anyway because it's your family. So I guess I kind of see it as like that. It's like I'm really a loyal kind of ride or die type person. So for me, my family are those people that I let in to my inner circle of trust and love and really devotion, because I'm a devoted type person, and who I devote myself to, and who I will support and understand and care about regardless.
Well,
Hmm.
I know I probably overuse the word too. Because I often say, the TPO T family. And when I say that, I mean I kind of agree. I agree with all you ladies. I mean, your family, because I have people that I'm related to by blood, and they don't even act like goddamn family. Okay, we share bloodlines, and they don't act like family.
Hmm.
When I think about family, just like you ladies said, I think about people that are kind of within my circle of influence, right? A person doesn't have to necessarily be related to you to have an effect on your life that's family like. I mean, some of the most grandiose things that have ever happened to me in my life haven't necessarily happened due to family who are related to me by blood, but people who treat me like family. I treat them like family. So when I think about family, I think about people who, because there's one thing to be family, then there's another thing to have a family, because when we think family, what do we think? We think our wife, our husband, our kids, and if you're younger, you probably think your family more so as your brothers, sisters, mother, father. I guess it depends on who you are in life, what
Hmm.
dictates, that kind of dictates, your perception of family. If you're a 12-year-old kid, your family is your brothers and sisters, your mother and father, your cousins, and all that kind of crap. But when you get to be an older person, when you get to be an adult, and you have children of your own, and you have a marriage and a life of your own, that becomes the family that you have. And the people, your brothers and sisters, they are family, but they're not your family per se, if that makes any sense. So when I think about family, I think of it in that context. But what I want to ask you ladies is, we as Black people, right? And I said earlier when we first started, we always talk about, hey, what's up, family, peace, family, the Black family. Do you ladies believe that we are, I often say that a lot of times, Black people, we are the dysfunctional family of we are the dysfunctional family of the world. So do you ladies believe that, far as Black people go, are we like a big old dysfunctional family sometimes?
I don't claim that as an overall generalization of the culture community. I don't claim that. I mean, because I'm sorry, serial killer, that's dysfunction at its finest. I don't give a fuck what you say. Child rapists and all those other things, and stoning people or chopping off hands because they stole something. Like, come on, it's all different ways that we could classify dysfunction. So I don't even accept that moniker. So do I think there's dysfunction though in the Black community? 100%, 100%, on an individual basis, on a general basis, but shit, such is life.
Yeah, I agree with Ming. There's a lot of dysfunction in the Black community, but I don't think of us as a big dysfunctional family. I don't think we're any more dysfunctional than any other group of people. I mean, every group has their issues. I think it just gets highlighted more with Black people in America because, I mean, our country doesn't really like us very much, so that's probably why it gets highlighted more. But, that's how I feel about that.
Yeah, well, I agree with Katz and that's what I was gonna say. We think that we say have the worst men or the worst women, or we're the most dysfunctional, and I think it's really because we're holding ourselves, or we're trying to hold ourselves up to a standard of a people that we aren't. So we're judging our dysfunction or lack thereof based on basically how white we can be. And we can't be white. So yeah, I guess we're going to be really, really dysfunctional. If you look at it, if you were in the white community or in the Asian community or in the Indian community or whatever, they all think that their communities are dysfunctional as well. They don't put it out on Front Street, but they have all kinds of dysfunction, and they have all kinds of things that are broken down for it to look cohesive on the surface. Doesn't mean anything. So I don't think we are any more or less dysfunctional when it comes to that than any community. In fact, if anything, I think that it's shocking how functional of a family and a community we are and we can be, given that how many countries come to the Western world and we're all Black, and somehow we're trying to make that work. We're not talking about one or two countries or one country coming together. We're talking about all the countries in Africa, all the countries in the West Indies, all the countries in the Western world coming together and being one nation. So the fact that we can be as functional as we are in the Western world, considering that, I think is amazing.
We don't ever look at it from that perspective, though.
Of course not.
Real quick, from how far we've come, it's never looked at. It's always looked as the glass half empty. That's the way it's presented. That's the way we carry it too.
Exactly.
Well, let's talk about that. Does we as Black people, do you think that because most lessons are learned at home, right? Most of your lessons are learned early in life, in your so-called quote unquote family, whatever that family makeup may happen to be. That's where you kind of learn the first lessons of your life, right? Do you ladies believe that because of the lessons that many of us learn within our particular family, whatever that family is, do you think that maybe we need to change the way we operate our quote unquote families? Should our families be different? Should our families have a different structure so different teaching and different lessons can be learned? Should we have that? Should we examine the family, the Black family? Because if we were to say change the lessons that are being taught early on, that could probably change a lot. Do you ladies believe that? Do you believe that we should maybe re-examine how we think of family and the importance of it?
I mean, there's always things you can improve on. Um, the thing is, with each different family, I mean, there are going to be certain structures that work for certain families and certain structures that won't. You know, you got some people who have a more nuclear family. You got some people who have a more, like, maybe they were raised by their grandmother or raised by godparents or something, like a more extended family type situation. I think a lot of us are just trying to survive in terms of how we raise children and stuff. So, I guess there could be more thought put into it. That's my 2 cents on that.
See you down there, Lady Kendra.
Well, I think, like, to me, I think it's less about us trying to change the way we think about family and more about us trying to change the way we think about self. Because unless we are loving ourselves and we are looking at ourselves and holding ourselves and what we are to the highest of esteem, then the way we look at family can't change anyway. Because again, what we're expecting and what we're trying to do is hold ourselves and our families up to the standard of white America. So in and of itself, we can't value what our men, our women, and our children can bring to the table because we don't value what we are and who we are. Like a friend of mine was just talking about how he was in school and he walked past the study room for the Asians, and they're all sitting there quietly, and well, not the study room, but like the kind of group room, and they're all sitting there quietly and studying, and walked past one for the Indians, and they were sitting there and studying quietly, and you walked past the one for the West Indians, and they're sitting there dancing and rapping and beatboxing. He was so embarrassed. And I'm like, to me, I told him this. I was like, this made me feel sad for him. I'm like, listen, music and dancing and movement, that's in our blood. That's in our bones. You're talking about a group of us that are in a university and blowing off some steam between classes. We're going to sit there and we need to try to conform sitting in those classrooms and sitting there trying to conform, trying to study for those tests and trying to get those A+ and trying to pass those LSATs or whatever it is. And this is what we do. This is who we are. We have music in our bones. We have dancing in our bones. And so for us to get together, when we get together, we want to dance. We want to sing. We want to make music together and we want to dance together. And I think that's a great thing. And you're embarrassed of it because we're not like the white people. And so to me, if I walked past that, it would have filled me with a sense of home and belonging and family. And for him, it filled him with a sense of embarrassment because he's embarrassed of what we bring to the table. So to me, again, that comes down to self. Until we fix our self concepts of what and who we are, and that being good, not good enough to live in this world and whatever, but good to us, we're not going to be able to look at our family structures one way or the other and evaluate them and say, oh, this is good, or this is bad, or we should work on this, or we should work on that.
Yeah, when you first posed the question, the first thought I had was, well, what would I change? What's the problem with the structure? Why would I find issue with the structure? It's a deflection from finding issue with the values um, that are being implemented within the structure. You know what I mean? Because the framework is there, but what where we place our money on which values we give high priority to determines just how well that structure works for us if we even build the structure in the first place and take the blueprint and apply it to our lives. Um, the caricatures that media and social media present will make you believe that there's something wrong with it, that there's something that needs to be changed, that it's not working. But when you dig into the details and you really get down in grassroots on the ground, you'll find that to not be true.
Mm-hmm.
You know, when I look around, you know, my circle, my immediate sphere of influence, and then take it out further from there through the 6 degrees of separation, I actually see more families working within the confines of the two-parent household with their children, doing it in order, some who may have not, you know, whatever, but still placing value on what those things individually and then put together as a whole mean. So if I were to decide to work on something, it wouldn't be redefining the family, which is what we're trying to do as a society. No, I wouldn't do that. I would actually start redefining the values and the priority that we put on the family, because we've moved away from that. That's
Mm-hmm.
not important to us anymore. We've decided to stop, you know, like 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 Ruby said, walking down the hall when she gave that example, that was like a perfect illustration. It was a real good illustration. In my mind, I was actually visioning it and what I would do if I was placed in that same circumstance. Me, I would start dancing in the hall like, hey, you know, whatever. But and it's like, well, where did I get that? And I got that because of the family structure. You know, because I was proud, because of what my grandparents who were married for 50 plus years, you know, before my grandfather died, I got it because of that, even though I didn't immediately grow into it because of some of the choices my mother decided to make. I still was born within a family structure and a wedlock. You know, I wasn't no
Mm-hmm.
bastard. You know what I'm saying? I still was able to look back and lean on this structure. So no, hell no, I wouldn't want to redefine it or place blame there. Instead, I would think we would put the onus on us individually. Because like I said, when there were missteps that happened, I would make individual choices. I chose to take from this structure that was presented before me what I will. All of us do. Even what I impart apart my children, I hope that my daughter, while she's away, she's remembering what she left from, what she can go back to. And if you don't have that, if you take that away and start to pick it apart and find fault where there is none, then you have nothing. You have
Mm-hmm.
absolutely nothing. And we can see a good illustration of that from these people who don't have nothing to go back to, who don't have no laurels to rest upon and draw from and remember from, who don't have anything like in their DNA that's making them remember it and they subconsciously don't even remember thinking about it, you know, that type of stuff. That's what we're seeing right now, a breakdown in actually that structure and not impressing upon them importance of it, trying to change it and redefine it and all that other shit. I'm kind of old school in that way, though.
Mm-hmm.
I am. Even if I haven't lived by it every single freaking day, my values and my moral code and my ethics and the lenses by which I view the world is from that structure.
Mm-hmm. Me too.
So sorry I went off on a tangent a little bit.
Okay, so restate that question because I don't know that I understood your question.
Hey, hon.
Mm-hmm.
Hey, beautiful people,
Hey,
our
girl.
beautiful sisters.
Mm-hmm.
What's going on, Lady Kendra?
Hello.
Um, I said, should we re-examine the black family? Should we re-examine how we institute it, how we, how we do it? Should we take a look at it? Should it be redefined?
Well, the immediate question that comes to my mind is redefine from what to what. Um, because um, I want to try to articulate. we have to, first of all, figure out where our definitions come from. And when we say re-examine, we have to answer another question after that. Re-examine it to whose benefit? Because we live in a society where we do not have agency, but also and also a society that we can never assimilate into, but that socializes us the same way that it socializes everyone else that can assimilate into it. And what we as Black people have to start understanding is that there's nothing wrong with doing things differently than what they have been defined for us to do.
Mm-hmm.
And what I mean by that is, if we find it more beneficial for our group to have monogamous relationships and raise families, and some of us have polygynous relationships and raise families, if that actually works for our community, we have to learn how to not be shamed by that because the dominant society says it's wrong. That's just an example. We have to learn how to take some cues from other groups that might benefit us, but ultimately, we cannot throw the baby out with the bathwater. Just because we have some things we may need to tweak about how we look at families and raising families doesn't mean that everything that we have done is wrong. And I'll give an example of that. Dang it, just lost my train of thought. Hold on, give me 2 seconds. I'm doing that Gemini thing. Give me 2 seconds. Ah, man.
Hate when that happens.
I just had it and it just went away. It'll come back.
Mm-hmm.
But
Mm-hmm. It was good too, I bet.
I know, right?
but we have to be able to, like I said, take cues from other groups and not be so hasty to conform to whatever society has socialized us into believing is a good idea. You know what I mean?
Yep.
Got it.
Mm-hmm.
We
Mm-hmm.
are just about the only group that views having children as a bad thing. We think having children is a bad thing. Now, we can irresponsibly have children. That I don't support. But we sort of toil under the thought that having a kid almost at any time is probably a bad idea. Where do we get that?
Mm-hmm.
Who told us that children and an expansion of family was inherently bad? Now, let me clarify for those who may listen on the playback and be, she's supporting having out of wedlock kids. Oh man, I don't want to hear it. Let me clarify. I'm not talking about irresponsible situations where there are children who are being had under any old kind of condition and nobody cares what kind of world they're being brought into or what type of family they're being brought into. That's not what I'm here to support. That's not even what I'm talking about. But overall, and I don't know if anybody's really noticed that or with me on that, but I sort of noticed, having a kid is this horrible thing. Even sometimes within committed couples or marriages, they don't want, this is like it's devastating news.
I mean, let's just look at the evidence like from generation to generation. My grandmother has 13 siblings. She had 5 kids. My mother had 2, you just
Mm-hmm.
see it going declining from there. And
Right.
now the ones that are being born now you can say, but no, Ming, there are all these other women who have 10 and 8 and 5 and 4. But yeah, it's not done under the right way though, you know.
Right. Right.
That shouldn't even be taken into consideration because that's not done the right way. That's not what you're talking about.
Precisely. And you made a good point. You know, my mother is the last of 11 children. She had
Mhm.
4. I have none.
Mhm.
So
Mhm.
it has affected us. And there are other contributing factors, but it has affected us. We think building families is bad. And you know, we've always been the canary in the coal mine in this society. Whatever has been implemented, the socialization affects us first. Whatever they push in society, whatever they, start teaching us from younger, we do it first. We're most affected by it, and we're most affected by it because of our vulnerability as a unit, because of the holes in our culture. And when I say holes in our culture, I mean we have an incomplete culture. Um,
Yeah. And you're only as
so
strong as your weakest link.
exactly. So we have holes in it, and therefore we are vulnerable to different socializations, and most of it is detrimental. Okay, and it's detrimental to us. The redefining of the family has been detrimental to us. Our families got redefined in the 60s from two parent households to single parent households. It was
Mhm.
already redefined. How has that
Mhm.
worked out for us? It has
Mhm.
not.
Mhm.
So what we need to do is backtrack a bit and
Mhm.
do what has worked rather than do what the dominant society says must be done, because
Exactly.
they've redefined families several times and they continue to do so. You know, a good family is a single parent household when we know that that's not the ideal. Now, everything can't be an ideal because things happen. But at the same time, we should be striving for the ideal whenever possible. Okay. So since we are subverted, we're currently a subverted people. Um, those different socializations about what family should be, could be, would be, wanna be, we are hit first with that and we jump right in on it, and we have suffered. So I say go back. I'm with me. I'm more or less old fashioned, and they can say I'm antiquated, and I am. I'll accept that.
Mhm.
Um, I do have antiquated ideas about relationships, about family, about marriages, about I do. You know what I'm saying? And I'm not ashamed of that,
Mm-mm.
because those, you can't break the social contract that has been going on since time immemorial for over the last 60 years and think it's going to work. That doesn't work. It fails. It's failing quickly. And that's pretty much all I got to say.
Mhm.
Well, let me say this. Um, like you said, the family has been redefined, and the redefining of the family has messed up. It has screwed black folks up. Um, that was one of our strongest points. When you think back, 5, 6, 7 decades, that was our strongest point. The fact that we had, these solid families where there was a mother and a father, and because
Mhm.
I'm a true believer that a a family is more solid when it's a mother and a father. I mean, of course, there's some exceptions. I don't want y'all writing my damn email, but I mean, usually when you have a mother and a father, there's a pretty good chance that the children are going to turn out better. There's a pretty good chance that y'all are going to have better economic success. There's a pretty good chance that y'all may not necessarily be destitute. I mean, when you talk about family, because like you ladies said, I mean, there's many different types of families, but when you talk about a family unit itself, there's so many advantages for black folks to have a so-called quote unquote nuclear family. The advantages are there. You know, the advantages are there. Because even if you guys are struggling, you would probably struggle a little more if you guys weren't together. The kids would probably suffer more if you guys weren't together. And I'll put this to Lady Ming because Lady Ming has children.
Mm-hmm.
Lady Ming,
Mm-hmm.
you have a husband, you
I do.
have little kids.
I do.
Um, your family, right? The way you go about with your family.
Mm-hmm.
Do you think that it would be different? Would your family values be different if you guys weren't a quote unquote nuclear family? If
Well, I've already went through that though, because don't forget I have an older daughter
okay.
who
Oh, that's
I
right. So
had, right. So
you know
I've
both
already
sides,
went through
you
that
know both
and I'll
sides of the
consider.
saber then.
Yeah, and I can tell you, no, my values didn't change or I wouldn't be in the situation you just outlined. That's
Okay.
why I also said when I was talking that even if I haven't always done that, that's still the way I view the world. That's why I said that, because
Okay.
I'm not a hypocrite and I haven't always done that because I have an older daughter. But I didn't have, my children are 17 years apart because that's the way I view the world. I wasn't trying to have multiple children by multiple men on my road to success. You know what I mean? Because that's actually the road to the wall. I wasn't doing that. I was
So,
young. I had my daughter young. You know, it is what it is.
well, let me ask you this. So you didn't think about family differently, once you met your husband and y'all start having babies, did you have a different outlook? Did you have a different view? Did you change
But what
how
I'm
you
saying is, I've
operate?
always viewed the world that way.
Okay.
Is what I'm saying. I always viewed the world as I wanted to have a husband and I didn't want to have a whole bunch of children out of wedlock. I thought what you see is a manifestation of what I felt.
Okay.
You see what I'm saying? Because I had my daughter so young, that was an outlier in my perspective of the world because I was young when I had my daughter. I wasn't like 19, 20, 21. I was 15. So that was a one off, and it was like, okay, that's not how I'm out here living. I went away to school, I went to college, I did this, that, and the third on my own, had a good job, did everything I was supposed to do, got with my husband, and then the rest is written as you see it today, where I'm actually able to be home with my children while my husband is the head of this household the way I saw it, for me with my grandmother and my grandfather. you know my mother and my father, they got divorced. The 80s, that little time period and that generation was a whole nother, time period when I was born in the 70s. But my grandparents, though, that's where I really looked and drew my inspiration from and wanted to emulate. And like, Kendra said, it works. It worked. I come from a blue collar background, the post office, the Air Force. It worked. And that's what I'm redoing right now. And it works.
Mm.
My children are
Well,
well rounded and everything else. So I hope I answered the question. I didn't
yes,
change.
yes.
Sometimes life throws you curveballs, but as long as you know who you are and you know what you stand for and you know what you're about, you know not to make certain mistakes again. And you know to actually look at things as they are. Therefore, you are able to actually teach, and it's not hypocritical or from a hypocritical standpoint because you're honest about what you've been through and what you've done. And then you can also look at your fruit that you've bared and show that you're living works of what you're actually preaching as well. You know what I mean? It's not like, you're sitting up here saying, yeah, I could do whatever I want to do. No, nothing changed. I didn't all of a sudden become better and get up on a high horse because things worked out for me. No, I made what I'm doing now work for me because I never actually steered away from that. And even if you get off course because a circumstance happens, don't keep your eye off the ball and what you're trying to at the end game. You have to be able, like with the tweaks, and you have to be able to dodge, and you have to be able to readjust when life goes certain ways, but you don't change your ethics, your morals, your ideals. You don't do that. And you don't damn for sure keep setting up circumstances that keep having you fail. I didn't do that either.
True.
That's true.
Very, very, very true.
If I may address something in the chat room with Don Calypso, just to sort of answer, because he's having a little bit hard time with what I was saying about the fear, the latent undercurrent of fear of children in the Black community. This is not something that men have or pass down to girls. This is something that I've experienced the women do. Um, I've seen it happen. It may not happen in every family. I don't know how common it is necessarily, but many of our mothers and our mothers from my age group are boomers. Since I am a Gen Xer, so my parents are boomers. Um, are often mistrustful of men, and they're meddlesome in the lives of their daughters, especially in the sex lives of their daughters. Because on one hand, they restrict you from your womanhood and misinform you about it, or don't inform you about it. And then on the other hand, they also make you fearful of it. Um, they sort of scare you about boys. I couldn't even say the word boy in my house till I was good and 17 years old. Um, even when I got with my husband, she was like, well, don't have a baby too soon because you don't know if he gonna leave you, or so don't be just having a baby. And this is somebody that I committed to. Um, and she kept that up actually for quite a while until, years in, and I just told her, leave me alone because what I do is not your business anyway. Um, so I kind of experienced it, and then I saw like my aunts, and then I saw other people's families. Sort of, it's an undercurrent. It's not necessarily so overt because they'll tell you don't come home pregnant, right, in high school, which is actually good advice, but then they don't educate you how to steer clear of that. You're told not to do it, but you're not given any tools to actually make that happen. You either have to have willpower like I did, or no matter what values you were raised in, you'll probably fall into it at least once, which is what our sister Ming was just saying. She had a value system that was taught to her that she believed in, but circumstances and conditions, you end up with a kid at 15. The main thing was that she didn't end up with another kid at 17, and then another one at 18, and then another one at
Exactly.
20. You see what I'm saying?
Hmm.
So that I hope that sort of addressed or made a little bit more clarification for you, Don.
Um, well, first and foremost, I see that these damn these damn like numbers, okay? These damn like numbers down here aren't matching the watch numbers right here. I see that. Okay. Y'all see it too. Let's get those likes up, man. Y'all know I don't like the watch numbers to beat the like numbers. I mean, you're in here, you might as well hit the damn like button. And while you're doing that, you might as well go ahead and hit this here Streamlabs button too. Throw a few coins in the bucket. All right. Hit that thumbs up. get those likes up, and hit that tab up there. Drop a few coins in the bucket. Yeah, let's talk about that because you ladies spoke of increasing the family or building the family. You said that that's often frowned upon in Black society, and we are the ones most guilty of frowning upon it. And I think the reason why we frown upon it is because we look at it from a financial aspect. We look at the prospects of poverty when you cause let's face it, I mean, most of the people that are in poverty are people with children. So we look at it from that aspect. We look at because even if we're married, okay, and we happen to have a kid, we know that when that kid comes, life changes. There's no ifs, ands, or buts about that. No matter what you're doing, what kind of career you got, how much money you have or you don't have, whether or not you in a university or college, living with your mom, doesn't matter. When the baby comes, life will change. And I think that it's that change that we kind of we frown upon, that change that's going to take place, when that kid comes, the responsibility we frown upon the financial aspect. We frown upon the fact that we're going to have to live our lives differently. When this little person comes into the house, life has to change. I mean, it just does. I saw that today. I went and picked up my daughter today from South Carolina, and she's got a baby, and he's my grandson is 10 months. He was walking around in my house, and normally, I just kind of have things, normal things that I would just have sitting around. I had to go around and like pick those things up, because I didn't want his little hands grabbing them. I had to make sure that, the cabinets were locked, because he gets around, he's like standing up and crawling. He's all over the place. So, normally it's just adults here. But, I got this little 10-month-old little joker crawling around and walking around in here. I got to make sure there's no sharp objects within reach. I got to make sure there's nothing poisonous laying around. I got to make sure the door is closed so he don't crawl out into the garage. I got to do all that kind of stuff just for that day. And they were only here for a day. And I had to walk around and, kind of move stuff around, because in my house, we have little statues and, I have all kinds of stuff, in here that are low. So I had to get all that stuff up and, like I said, make sure the door is closed. I got to make sure the sliding door is locked in the back because I don't want his little hand to push it open, So that's what I think we frown upon. I think we frown upon the change that's going to have to take place once you have a kid, even if you're within a relationship. If you and a person are married and, wifey come out there with the old pregnancy test and y'all don't have kids yet. And she's like, oh, honey, I'm pregnant. As a man, you're already thinking from now all the way up to 18 years from now. You're calculating money. You're calculating that boat that you're not going to be able to buy now. You're calculating that motorcycle that you're not going to be able to buy now. You're thinking all that shit as a man. You calculate all that shit in about 0.5 seconds. So I think that is what, kind of brings about, the somewhat the negative feelings about, kids coming, advance the family, especially when you're talking about having more than one or two or three, because I know me when I was having my kids, and I have 4. Okay. I think things would have been a lot tougher if I had 8.
Oh
Or
yeah,
9.
absolutely. But what you just described was like selfishness. It really has no it has no like socioeconomic cause or nothing like that. It's just pure fucking selfishness. I could think of people I know who have children by, you know, a single mom or whatever, if you will, by multiple baby daddies, and they don't want to put forth the effort or put in the work it takes to properly raise their children. And I can also tell you of a mother father team. Both of them got great jobs, well educated, and they don't want to put forth the effort and what's necessary to raise their children. Now, the alternative to raising their children may be different. One may be trying to go to the club while the other is trying to go to the office. But the facts still remain. Neither one of them are raising their fucking kids. And that's just the truth.
Right.
And the reason why I speak about that is because, like, you guys know I have two boys. They're only 15 months apart, and we put our children in a bed at a specified bedtime. You've heard me talk about it, and some of y'all witnessed it, you know, being on Discord and stuff like that, how structured and regimented I am with my kids. But to do that, we had to forego a lot of things. There's not a lot of barbecues and house parties or events that we've been able to go to because my kids go to bed at 7:30 at night. And so what, that the adults are up kicking it and we're going to be out and it's a birthday party or a housewarming or something like that, festive, that's family oriented, and everybody going to be here to 9:10. My kids go to bed at 7:30 at night. But, you know, we miss a lot, but day in and day out after 7:30, our time is our own. You know, our children know what to expect, and I think that they act accordingly. You know, their spirits are settled and their behavior is in line because they know that we have rules that we don't move away from, you know. And then when I look amongst our peer group, who were all, you know, doing very well or whatever, they call it the Ming plan because they're up here with two children, but it's 10 o'clock at night. But at that time when you were building your business or your office or, you know, whatever it was you were doing, when you had your children up all night because it well suited you, I wasn't. You know, now that they're 4 and 5 years old and they don't go to bed till 11 o'clock at night and you can't get nothing done and your house is all up in arms, mine is quiet. You know what I'm saying? But that was something that we decided to do as a whole. You know, it's a lot of stuff me and my husband don't go to. Even some of it we pass up because we both can't go because we don't have a babysitter. And I don't complain. I don't feel bad. And I will restructure my shit the same way given the opportunity to do it again. Because I'm looking at the big picture, not the immediate gratification of it. You know what I'm saying? Like I made this is a job and I'm paying into it what I expect to get out of it.
Well,
So
let's talk about this because I believe this. I believe that the ones closest to you plunge the sword the deepest. I believe that. Oftentimes when we have things happen to us, it's usually people who are really, really close to us. And sometimes it is the quote unquote family member who does the shit. So when you think about that aspect of family, do you ladies have people in your quote unquote family, people that you don't really deal with like that? It may be a cousin or a brother or whoever. Do you ladies have people in your quote unquote family that you kind of love from a distance? I know my black ass do. I got quite a few of them that I have to love from a distance, you know, to the tune of like 1,000 miles. Do you ladies have people that you have to love from a distance because they have plunged that sword because of their closeness to you?
Yeah, I got some family members that I gotta love from a distance because I don't like to be pushed past a certain point, and they got this one family member that every time she sees me, she has to figure out a way to piss me off. Like, she even told me that was her mission one time, because most of the time I'm a very chill person. I just sit back and watch everybody, you know, cool, like be cool with each other and stuff. And here she is always coming messing with me. And it's been like that since we were kids. So I can't mess with her. I don't talk to her. I might say hi to her if she comes to a family get together, but overall, it's like, please stay away from me because I don't want to have to, you know, get in trouble with this person because she's a piece of work.
Well, I think in my family, it would be a little bit easier to count the people that I don't or shouldn't love from very, very far away, and the amount of people that I love from real up close. Now, with that being said, on the surface, it may look to other people like, oh, you guys are so close or whatever. But the thing is I trust people to be who they are. And that's why I started off at the beginning when I said, people that I trust, even if it's just trusting them to be who they are. And, I let my hair down with. Now, that being said, I might let my hair down. They might have their hair down and it might not be a pretty picture, but it's real. And so I may dislike you. We may be in a war, but now you're in the hospital. Suddenly your kid's in the hospital. Guess where I'm at? Right by your side. So I have a lot of family. At the end of the day, especially the generation right above me, like my aunts and uncles. On one side of my family, their father ruined them. On the other side, their mother ruined them. So they're a bunch of broken people. Now they're broken adults with adult children. And the way that they've chosen to handle themselves and handle their kids and handle, the nieces and nephews and whatever has been atrocious in a lot of levels. And, I was the type of person where I never wanted anyone's feelings to be hurt. I never wanted to have people feel left out. I never wanted. And the thing is, I always wanted that because I didn't want people to feel the way I did. And that had a lot to do with the way my family treated people, especially me. So, at the end of the day, I was so open and vulnerable because they're my family. So I should be open to them, right? I should trust them. And I did. And every time they throw me a bone, I jump all over it. And then when they demolished me, I was always left sitting there bewildered and devastated. So now, yeah, I'm in my 30s now. Now I've gotten to the place where they can't really get inside. There's like a wall fortress around my emotions and they don't have access to them. And the reason why is because I know even if it looks pretty on the surface, there's something ugly and brewing underneath and it's gonna bite me in the ass if I'm not careful. But with that being said, they are my family. And so to me, the way that I see that is I love them regardless, even though I know these things about them, even though I know how they are, I love them regardless of all of that. And so at the end of the day, what I am going to do is I'm going to love them. I'm just going to make sure that the way I'm loving them, I'm still going to be me. I'm still going to give. I'm still going to do all the things that I do. I'm just not going to be open and vulnerable. And anything I give to them, I got to know that not only will it maybe not be reciprocated, but there might be a heavy cost to pay for me being good to them. And, unfortunately, that's what it comes down to sometimes when it comes to family is, family are the ones who can hurt you the most because they're the ones who can get past your defenses. So for me, it was about learning how not to let them in past my defenses and still being able to be me. I'm not going to let them or anyone turn me bitter or jaded or mean or angry. But with that being said, they don't have the right to come in and beat me down or to make me feel inferior or to make me feel any of the negative things that they do because they feel all those negative things and hurt people. And my family's full of hurt people. So really that is my only experience. Mostly I can count on one hand, maybe minus my thumb, of family members that I've let in or I still keep inside that I know love me the way I love them and still have my best interests at heart and et cetera, et cetera. And the rest of them, I might see them a lot. I might be down for them a lot. I might always be there for them, but it's not a reciprocal relationship.
Yeah, I have a family member I don't deal with. I don't deal with them at all though. It's been probably about 5 years. I don't deal with them at all. Outside of like a birthday, I sent a text. I don't even think I did say happy birthday this year, to be quite honest with you. Because I'm done. They're too volatile and too detrimental. Um, and I just don't have the energy to expend in that direction. And I've made it clear to everybody involved that if they don't respect it, then we're gonna have a problem too. So that by now it's like finally done. Like I think she finally gets the goddamn picture, and especially those around. But I keep it between us. I don't let it flow over into other people or nothing like that. I put my foot down. I'm a very direct person, but I also have a very like I might not be doing the countdown to you. Like you don't know you're on strike three, but I know you're on strike three, and your motherfucking ass know it too. We just might not have discussed it. So when I've come now and I'm shutting it down, now you're looking bewildered when you know good and goddamn well why. But by that time it's no conversation. So yeah, we just don't deal with each other at all. They're too toxic. They're way too toxic. And I can't trust their motives. I don't have nothing. I don't send them nothing. I don't have nothing in my house. I'm not taking my kids over there. No, we're good. We're good. And that's just what it's gonna be.
Oh, yeah, I got one. Taught me some valuable lessons, though. Taught me from a little kid that just because somebody holds a title that means they're supposed to care about you and supposed to love you does not mean that they will. So, in a sense, I got taught very early in life about how to view the world. I got taught that you can't view the world how it should be or how you would like it to be, but how it is. And no matter how bitter that truth is, you must swallow it if you are to survive. So, you know, I learned those lessons the hard way, but I have not forgotten them. And so I actually don't deal with this person. They try to make me deal with them. It's that the handle on that spoon so long that you would need the Hubble telescope to see the end of it. That is a long handle spoon, honey. So, yeah, I got one I don't deal with.
Well, isn't that it though? I mean, with when you talk about, some of the shit, because I got some family members that's really fucked up. Yeah, they're really fucked up, and I don't have anything to do with them Negroes whatsoever. Um, but often with family members, they usually get the chance to do these things that make you not want to deal with them. They get the chance, just like Lady Classic said, because they're the ones closest to you. They get past your defenses. Um, I think a lot of times we give family members too much of the benefit of the doubt because we're related, we're cousins, we're brothers, we're whatever. So we have a tendency to give them more benefit of the doubt than we would someone else. Um, yeah, I think we give them
Not me. Shit. No, I don't.
we give them more
No,
the
I don't.
benefit of the doubt because they're our cousin or our aunt or our uncle or brother or whatever. They can a lot of times they can talk you out of shit and talk you into shit because of who they are. So they have a tendency to find themselves. They actually have more license and agency to destroy the relationship because they have a tendency to encroach on boundaries because they're there. They're there. They don't have to hop the fence or climb the gate or bust the lock. You open the damn fence for them and you let them walk in, because of who they are. Um Do you ladies believe that? Do you believe that maybe some of our family members, maybe they don't deserve that extra benefit of the doubt just because, you know, we're cousins or we're brothers, or maybe they don't deserve that shit? Should we
No.
be should we be looking at family? Should we be judging family members or looking at family members the same way we look at other people? Should we be giving them? Should we be giving family members more merit than we do other people?
I mean, I guess you can say I gave this particular family member more merit if we were to sit down and crunch the numbers, simply because they are a family member, so they've had access to me the entirety of my 39 years. But on the surface, from when I started making my own decisions and didn't have to deal with their ass, she got as many chances as anybody else. And I don't necessarily sit down, you know, because all things aren't equal, but it's about the severity of the event. It's about the severity of the disrespect. It's about the longevity of it. It's about situational versus character flaws. So everything's not judged equal. So that's why I'm not going to say, yeah, they get more or less, but it's on an individual basis. It has nothing to deal with family. I told you guys from the beginning that my family structure is not just about blood. That has nothing to do with it. I've been through way too much in my life to be naive enough to think that everybody is bound by blood, and that sometimes, you know, friendship ties or, you know, things like that, or in-law ties can't be stronger. That's just stupid, because that's not real. You know, that's not true. But no, sorry, you don't get that chance. And like I said, it's about the severity. And as you can see, this then triggered me a little bit, because people take disrespect so cavalier, like you're supposed to get a first, second, third, and fourth, fifth chance. Fuck that. Okay? Time is short, and I don't have time wasting it in the direction of a fucking energy vampire. Go suck the life out of somebody else's goddamn life, okay? I got too much to lose, because too much riding on my shoulders. I'm not going through this goddamn world as an individual. You know, I got children I'm raising. I got a husband I love, and I have a host of fans and family that love me back. So I don't have time for you to come over here and start fucking with my goddamn defenses and recalibrating shit. Move the fuck around. And I've been around too long, paying the cost too motherfucking long to be the boss. And I'm not talking about that, oh, I pay the cost to be the boss, bling bling shit. I'm not talking proverbial shit. I'm talking about bill paying shit, paying taxes shit, mortgage shit. I'm talking about my daughter has sickle cell anemia. I'm in the hospital. Will she live or die shit? I'm not talking about this fake rah-rah shit. The I need phone bill money shit. Okay? So no, I don't have that time, and I won't put it in that energy. And if I do direct my goddamn sights on you, it's war. So be ready. Because otherwise, I don't fuck with you at all.
Lady Ming says, get ready. Get ready.
Well, I've been guilty of giving people the benefit of the doubt. I think I can be a little bit too compassionate sometimes. Like the family member I was talking about, I gave her so many chances.
Well, let me stop you right there, Lady Cass. Let me stop you. Let me ask you. Why?
Why?
Do you do it just because they're a family member? Do you do it just because of that? Is that the reason why you give them chance number 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 to screw you over?
I think it's because I genuinely be feeling bad for people who go through some tough shit, but at the same time, it's like we all go through some tough shit. So this is why, like, lately I've been like, please stay away from me, because at some point, it's like certain things, okay, I get it, you're going through some stuff, but we all go through some stuff, and you have to stop treating people like walking all over people just because you're having a bad day or something. So, like, you know, I don't think it's solely because she's a family member, because I've done it with friends and I guess people I've been associates with too. But yeah, I just think I'm too nice sometimes. I think that's what my issue is.
Because they're family, right?
Sometimes I don't know. I just be feeling bad for people.
So is the question whether or not, or is the question why we give the benefit of the doubt or why we give people chances?
Yes. Why do we give our family members more benefit of the doubt? Or do we, are we do we give them more chances to screw up, to screw us over because, we happen to share bloodlines?
I think some people do. I don't. I don't care who you are. I don't care what kind of blood we share. I don't care. Like I said in one of my other streams, we can test if you think our relationship's strong. We can test it. All you gotta do is pull up with some bullshit and it'll go to the test. The one who taught me that lesson is the only one that I couldn't break away from because you can't break away from people who raise you.
Mhm.
Um, but the lesson was taught clearly. Clearly, I've been cutting folks off since I was a little kid. Cut you clean off. I don't care. And it's not even coming from me not being compassionate because I'm very compassionate. I'm very empathetic to when people are going through things. It's just that you're not going to disturb my peace. You're not going to disturb my peace in a detrimental way. Once I realize and discover who you are, and what your intentions are and how that affects me, I get to decide that. You don't get to decide that. I do. And so once I make a decision, you have to live with it. Cause I'm not gonna live with it. I'm just gonna make the decision and I'm gonna snuggle up under some covers that night. And I'm gonna, you know how you shift your legs around because your covers be real comfortable? That's how I'm gonna sleep after I cut you off. Okay. So I don't have no qualms about letting you know why. I don't care what other relationships is disrupted because of it. You have to deal with that fallout because the only reason I'm not going to deal with the fallout is because my stance is clear. Once I get to that point where I can't fool with you anymore, then we at that point. There's no backtrack. There's no takesy backsies with that. I don't take that back because I've already thought about it. It has already come to a conclusion. I don't have to include you in that conclusion because you've already inserted yourself in the decision making because you full of bullshit and you was constantly on that bullshit and I let you ride. It's just like when you was a little kid and you would study being bad and your mama let the whooping build up. That's how I do it. You study, you was doing some little shit at school, and you did some little shit around the house. Then you didn't do your chores, and that add up to one big ass
Mhm.
whooping because you've been doing bullshit for 2 weeks.
Mhm.
Okay, I'm gonna let it slide. Okay, so that's how I do. You be on a countdown. All you gotta do, cause see, most people think other people aren't watching what they do, but I watch
Mhm.
very carefully and I listen. I'm a big listener. Like I told I don't know who I remember who I told, but I get paid as a customer service agent to decipher the shit that people say to me for 8 hours every day. And I'm good at it. It doesn't matter how little you think you're telling me. And I know how to piece together the picture. So once I've understood that you don't mean me any good, you are of no benefit, and don't let me find out that not only are you not of benefit, you are of detriment. You really about to get cut off. And I'll cut you
Mhm.
off and won't tell you nothing about it. Just next time you come around, it'll just be empty.
Hmm. Hmm. And Kendra, you know that make us sound cold, but what they don't understand is that, but you've been doing us bogus all along the way.
All along the
All
way.
along the way. And I've been
Mm-hmm.
sucking it up. I haven't been saying nothing. You done hurt my feelings. You done stole from, you done did all type of shit.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. You done played with my money when you know my money funny. You done played with my emotions.
Hmm.
You done came through. You done said a bunch of shit. You done snaked me a couple of
Mm-hmm.
times. You know what I'm saying? I gave you a chance to see would you straighten up Because see, if I
Mm-hmm.
gotta tell you to straighten up, I don't want that. That's like telling somebody to apologize. If it didn't occur to you on your own that you was fucking up, the only time I give benefit of the doubt to people is people who have proven that they are in my corner. If
Mm-hmm.
you've proved yourself loyal and stuff like that, and there was a slip up, a lapse of judgment, we can roll from that. We can discuss it depending upon how egregious this was. We may have a discussion, you know what I'm saying, about it. That don't necessarily make me reconsider you, who you are. Because if you have a long track record of showing me who you are, then a one-off is a one-off. You know what I'm saying? Just don't let it happen again. But all of that, you've been snaked from the get-go. I've just been sitting back watching your ass. That's all I've been doing, nodding and smiling and calculating. Mm-hmm. Call it what you
Mm-hmm.
wanna.
Well, I think that, like, I mean, I have once or twice ever to cut people off. I mean, it was just, there's a switch in my head, and it kind of applies to my relationships with people when I have a real relationship with you now. So I really love you. You really matter to me and whatever. There's a switch in my head, and as long as that stays on, and there's no telling how long it'll stay on. As long as that stays on, I will. And I'm the one who I will sit there, maybe not in the moment, but after the fact, I will sit there and I will talk to you and be like, here, this is my issue. This is what went wrong, blah, blah, blah. I am that person who will sit there and I try to, I psychologize everything, right? So I try to figure out the why of everything. I want to know why this happened. I want to understand what is underlying this behavior or this treatment. A lot of times, if I figure out that what's underlying your treatment of me is some type of disrespect towards me, some type of you looking down on me, and something like that, that's normally something to flip my switch pretty quickly. But if I think that, or I've analyzed it in such a way that it's not against me, this behavior might be hurting me, but it's not against me, then I'm more likely to kind of try to work with you to help you help yourself, because I'm that kind of person. But there is a switch in my head, and when it shuts off, it's just off. I had a friend; she was like my best friend for like 7 years. We went through so much together, and I kind of started improving my life, and she didn't start improving her life. Is really what it was. And she wanted to look at me and treat me like I was still the alcoholic who would fly off the handle like this and whatever, and I wasn't. And I tolerated her and her disrespect, especially while she was drinking, for a long time, because I just kept thinking back to, how she was there for me. And I mean, I'm talking about, I was like that to her for a couple of years. We're talking about 5, 6, 7, 8 years into I've changed like my whole life, and she hasn't changed. And I just saw that there was a real disrespect. And she went on this trip, and she had asked me if I'd pick her up from the airport like 4 a.m., blah, blah, blah. And I said, okay, sure. Come to find out, though, that she decided to arrange a car service instead, but she didn't tell me. I found out in passing through her husband. So I was going to show up at the airport at 4 a.m. for no reason. And so she got back from her little trip, and she never heard from me again. Like, she tried texting me, calling me, whatever. I just never responded to another word she ever said, like, because I was just done. Like, I don't have any explanations for you. I don't have a fight for you. I'm just done. But because of the type of person that I am, that doesn't happen all that often. I am more likely to sit there, and the thing is, you'll know exactly what it is. And I don't mean through common sense. I don't mean through, well, you could have figured it out or whatever. Like, I will tell you, I will let you know, I will outline my problems in no uncertain detail, like going piece by piece by piece, and I will let you know exactly what the issue is. And not only that, but I will help you help yourself. I will do whatever it is, because I'm your friend. I'm there to support you. I'm your family. I'm there to support you. So whatever it is you need, I will be there 150%. So I'm that kind of person. So if I all of a sudden one day I just never speak to you again, you know what the problem was, because I spent probably years letting you know what the problem was. I spent years really, and and I think that's the thing for me, is I have a hard time not, looking at that underlying why and then putting that above myself. And it's something that I have to work on, because, it does a lot of harm to me that I'm always considering everyone else when no one's really considering me. But with that being said, like I said, I'm in my 30s now. I'm starting to get it. It's like a year or so ago, I woke up and I realized that, people treat you how you treat yourself and how you allow them to treat you. And I knew that. It's something I've told a lot of people. But what it comes down to is your family, these people you call family, whether it's bloodlines or not, they will value you only as much as you value yourself. And you don't value yourself if you're going to stand up and let someone spit in your face every day and you go, yeah, but they're family and I love them anyway. Well, how much are you showing value for yourself? So that means not only are they not valuing you, but the whole rest of the family that's watching that happen, they start to lose value for you too, because you don't value yourself. Ming, you said, well, people might look at you and Kendra and be like, oh, well, that's really cold. For me, it's something like the knee-jerk reaction. I don't know that I'd be able to do it yet, but I don't think it's cold. I think it's you guys have been able to learn and foster value for yourselves. So as a result, you're not going to stand for, it doesn't matter bloodlines, it doesn't matter what affinities you've drawn and whatever. It's supposed to be a reciprocal thing. So if you're going to treat this person like family, you deserve to be treated like family in kind. And you don't owe someone that love and that respect and that support and that value. You don't owe someone that if they're not going to be giving it back to you. Why do they deserve it from you?
Yeah, because I mean, when you think about treating someone like family, what does that mean? That means what? That you will do things for them that you probably wouldn't do for other people. You have an affinity for this particular person, even though you guys don't share bloodlines, but you have an affinity for this particular person because I have people who treat me like family, and we're not related, but they treat me like I'm family. So in return, I reciprocate that. I reciprocate that treatment, and I treat them like they're my family. And oftentimes, to be honest, you have situations where I'm not saying all the time, but many times, oftentimes, you have the people who you treat like family who are more damn appreciative than the people who are family. They're more appreciative of being treated like family than the people who are quote unquote family. So you have those instances. You also have instances where you have treated particular people like family, and they've made you live to regret it as well. Because we often treat our associates, our friends, the people we deal with, we have a tendency to treat them like family. They always get invited to the big Thanksgiving dinner. They always get invited to the big Christmas party, even though they're not related to anybody. But because they're getting that treatment of family, they get the same accoutrements that a family member gets. I mean, I have people that I know that aren't my family, but they've been invited to my family reunions, so you have that as well. I think Black folks, I do believe that family is important to us. I do believe that that's important. I think we often get the family context. I think we get that kind of misconstrued sometimes, but I do believe that it is important to us. And I say that because often, and you've heard people say this a lot, that when it comes down to it, all you have is family. So I think family is important to us. For instance, like today, I keep saying, I'm talking about my little girl. She was down in South Carolina. We don't have any people in South Carolina, none in the whole state. And she wanted to get out of there. And she was able to call me. I mean, I'm her father, so of course she was able to call me. And of course I went down there and got my baby. But you know, you do that. You'll jump up and do that for your family members. If it was like one of my friends and they go, "Oh, X man, could you come get me from South Carolina?" Hell no. Hell no, Negro. You better get on a Greyhound or something, or get on the side of the road and put your thumb out. But you know, when it comes to your people, when it comes to your family, you don't think twice. You know, you don't think twice. Unless it's one of those family members that's just a jackass, you don't want anything to do with them. You tell them
But
lose your
we
number.
have friends that we would come down and get them
Why? Because you treat them
because fam,
like
exactly. But I want to be clear because you use the example of friends, you would be like, hell no,
yeah,
Negro. But we
well,
got friends that we actually would come and did it like for us, across the country.
well, let me clarify. Certain people that I know, I wouldn't do it for. I mean, there's some people I know. I'm not going to say all people, but there are a handful of people that I know that if they was to call me and I got to drive like 3.5 hours to come get them, I wouldn't come. Yeah, I wouldn't come. And then there's some people that I would. I
I'm not
mean,
coming 3 minutes for some people,
yeah,
but you know.
there's some people that I would drive to 3-4 hours. You know, I mean, because those people are like, there's that word again.
Mhm.
They're like family.
Mhm.
Not
Mhm.
everybody that we know has that moniker on them. You know,
Mhm.
some of the people that we know, we just kind of know them, you know, they're associates or whatever. And then you have some people who are like family. So you will do shit for them that you would do, you know, for your brother. Do
Mhm.
shit for them
Mhm.
that you would do for your daughter. And then you got the fucking people that, you know, y'all know each other, but y'all not really like that. You know, you're not going to drive 4 hours to go pick them up. You're just not. You're just not. So I guess when a person was, like I said, I mean, we have so many uses as Black people for the word family. We say it a lot. Okay. I mean, I know there's not too many people on this panel and not too many people in this chat room watching this that hasn't used that word at least 4 or 5 times this week. All right. We use it a lot. And I think that the word family is a comfort word, not just for the people who we're describing, but I think it's also a comfort word for us. I think that when we say that someone's like family, I think that gives us some type of, some type of mental comfort as well. I mean, that's just my belief, because we would like to believe that whoever this person is, they see us treating them like family. So in turn, in kind, they would reciprocate. And even if they don't reciprocate in actions, they would reciprocate in appreciation for being treated like family. Um, let me ask you ladies this though. I mean, as women, women, y'all are naturally more nurturing and emotional, and y'all have, y'all are just wired to be more compassionate than us. Um, do you ladies believe that you are do you believe that you are more likely to project that family thing? Do you believe that you are more likely to bring someone in and treat them like family as opposed to a dude? Because I know me, I not everybody I know am I willing to like bring in and treat them like family. But as females, do you ladies feel that you are more susceptible to not only bringing people in, as quote unquote family, but are you more likely to get burnt by people because of it?
Um, I mean, I think Black people in general do that. Um, they say the Black community wouldn't have lasted as long as it did without extended family, which means, people who bring in others who might not necessarily be like immediate family, like say daughter, son, mother, father, sister, or brothers. It could be like a cousin, a godson, goddaughter, or a child of a friend or something. I think Black people are just more susceptible to doing that in general. I don't think it's necessarily specific to one gender or another. As for getting burned, yeah, sometimes you get burned from it, and sometimes the people you bring in act like model citizens. So that's something you would have to take by case basis, I guess.
I guess I'll go. I'm a little bit more guarded. I don't take in or I don't operate like that. My friendships go deep, 20 years, plus or whatever, or something brought us together. I don't really take in, and it's gonna sound mean, but strays. I'm not easily. I mean, that sounds mean, but I mean, because you have some people who make friends with everybody and so on and so forth. But like, I'm an extroverted person, so I'm bubbly. I can hold conversation and we can party and bullshit all day long. But people I call friends, who coming over my house, who know my business, who we breaking bread with, who I'm driving for. Because for me, if y'all haven't noticed, I'm kind of black and white. So it's like either I'm gonna drive 3 hours for you or I'm not. It's not really no in between. And I rock like that, and it's not for shows, because I'm not the type of person that needs to be on the phone all day long. I'm not, calling you up. I don't need to know all your business. I'm just not that type of person. So I operate in a world of boundaries. I'm really aware of boundaries. My husband will tell you that. I operate with boundaries with everybody, and you'll know when you cross them. I mean, but that's just easier for me. It's just easier for me. So I don't really have a lot of situations where I'm easily bringing people in and then I get burnt. I can't tell you a whole bunch of burnt situations from friendship. Like you said, family, yeah, because these are people you thrown together with. But when I can make choices about who in my inner circle, not to pat myself on the back, but I've done a damn good job because I don't have a lot of them stories.
Lady Ming, black and white, no. No. Go ahead, y'all.
Well, you know what? Honestly, in my experience, as far as bringing new people in, I've actually seen more men than women bring people in. But I mean, I guess that's sort of my experience is that men bring people in, and then the women are the ones who will be like, all right, well, you're here now, so I guess we'll take care of you. But I mean, with that being said, it's not I won't say that's like my experience. My experience realistically, I think that maybe just the situations that I've always been in have been that, it's always kind of felt like I'm on the outside looking in of, say my families or relationships or whatever the case is. So I was never really in a position, I think, so much to necessarily bring people into my family. I was more the person, if anything, I would more go into other people's families. Now, with that being said, have I been burned? I mean, I've been burned, I will say, a lot from more. Not really. And the reason why is because, again, I trust people to be who they are. And I spend a lot of time analyzing people's actions and behaviors and what they're doing and why they're there. I don't expect someone who needs my help and needs my support. I see them being real close to me right now. I don't expect that that's because, we've really formulated this special relationship that's going to last forever and ever. I assume that it's likely because there is a false sense of friendship and intimacy right now because they need me. And when they no longer need me, they likely will spread their wings and fly elsewhere. So I think it has to do with the way that you look at things. I think that in my experience, like men, what they tend to do is they'll see someone be like, yeah, you come by my house because of whatever. And, then the women are like, okay, well, you're here, I'll fix you a plate of food. Okay, here, I'll make sure you got blankets for the couch and whatever. And then they're sitting there, beside their husband being like, all right, how long is this friend of yours staying again? And stuff like that. So I think that, but I mean, I'm talking about, obviously intact relationships as well, marriages and whatnot. And I think that it really depends on what your idea of family and your experience of family was growing up. If you grew up in a 2-parent home that was really safe and secure and really supportive, your friends used to come over all the time and blah, 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 and you had one of those types of upbringings, well, it will be second nature for you to bring home strays, as Ming said, right? But if you grew up in a place where, people don't really come over to your house like that, and if anything, you heard criticisms about random people being in other people's houses and whatever, well, you're not going to have that natural kind of affinity towards bringing people in or seeing people as coming over and sleeping over as grown people. You're not going to see that as a positive thing. So I think it has a lot to do with that life experience that you had as a kid growing up.
I agree.
Mm-hmm.
I totally agree. Damn, did Lady Kendra go already? I don't know. I guess she did. She might have stepped out. Well, we coming to the end of the show, so I want to ask
Yeah, I
you
stepped
ladies
away
this.
for a second. I'm sorry. What was the question?
Oh, I was asking, as women, do you ladies think that you are more susceptible to getting burnt because you're the more nurturing and the more compassionate of the sexes? Are you more susceptible to, or should I say more likely to bring people in, therefore making yourself more susceptible to being burnt by, people who you treat as family?
Probably we're more social, I think, and more prone to want social acceptance from others. And we do have a tendency, even in our broken down state, have a tendency to want to try to fix other people or something along those lines, whether it's functional or not. So I don't have a whole lot to add to that. That's I agree with that. We're probably more prone to it. Yeah.
Well, we coming almost to the end of the show, so I'm gonna do something that I don't ordinarily do. I'm gonna put you ladies on the spot. Um, Let me ask you ladies this. Uh, because this is like, this is like a family right here. You ladies and myself. I want you ladies to describe the TPO T, quote unquote, family and what you like about it.
Uh, I think I like
Oh,
being able to sort of converse with people of like mind, and the fact that it's not a debate, it's more so a conversation where things get built, and at least ourselves and our audience hopefully are walking away with something to think about, something to consider. Hopefully we have been able to be a source of I don't want to say inspiration, but so much as maybe information that will help someone. Maybe we've said something or, describe some part of our life that others can identify with and maybe take something positive from what we do. So, what I'm saying? I like being able to positively reach out to people.
Yeah. Any time spent with these ladies is time well spent. I thoroughly enjoy the time together, and I enjoy, chopping it up with everybody in the chat and hoping that on the playback people are listening and getting little nuggets. And it's also a little cathartic to sit and talk and go over things and sort them out and past experiences and share ideas and build. You know, we done had a lot of good building sessions, especially one of my favorite shows was when we talked about if we were the queen, princess, or the Unite president, you know, what would Blackville be? That was pretty cool.
Hmm.
Um, I just enjoy sharing ideas. I just appreciate everybody showing up weekly to listen. You know, I appreciate that too.
I think it's a very fun and diverse family. I've been exposed to a lot of different interesting people over these past couple of months, listening to your content, Brother X, and I appreciate that. And I really like the unicorn show with the three ladies, with the three other ladies on the show. So yeah, I really like the family. Yeah, it's a cool family.
Well, I think that for me, what I like ultimately is this idea that these four ladies, these four minds can come together. And, you know, we're being fielded questions by a fifth mind. All of us have completely different experiences of the world and of, you know, being Black person in North America, even because I can't say in America, I have to say North America because I'm in Canada, what that means to us and whatever. And what I love is that we are all coming together in a respect and in a love to share with each other because, you know, this is not a place where we are debating one another. We're not trying to figure out who's right, who comes out on top as, you know, queen of the castle this week or whatever. This is literally a place and a time for us to share our experiences, our opinions, our truth, based on whatever the topic is, and to be able to play off of each other as well. So, you know, I may disagree with Ming or Kendra or Katz or vice versa, or, you know, I might agree. And that's going to come out in what I say. I'm going to say, well, I agree and here's why, or I disagree and here's why. But, you know, it's not about trying to prove anybody right or wrong. It's about us really just trying to get down to the deepest core of what our truth is and us being able to share that in an honest and complete and open way with everybody. And anyone who's listening and anyone who's been listening and who has been following the series for the months now that it's been on, they're going to be able to hear a bunch of women who have come together, you know, and are interacting. We're interacting as a family with the respect and the care, and also with intelligence, though. And, you know, we're really going to be able to bring something out to the table. And I love that, you know, we've been able to bond together. And that bond, I'm sure, shows through just in the way that we interact with each other and interact with Brother X in his questions, or when he was answering our questions. Sorry for missing that. You know, I just think that overall, like, you know, it's a great thing because, you know, it's unity. I think we're just a symbol of unity, even though we're not all on the same page all the time, even though we don't all agree. We are still coming together in unison. And at the end of every show, what you still got is that underlying message of unity together.
Yeah, I would have to agree. What I like about the old TPO T family, especially this group here, is that you ladies are all different. You all have different points of view. All you ladies are very, very bright. And not only are you very, very bright, all of you ladies y'all are very conscientious, you know, ergo, you know, the name unicorns. I think that you ladies have made this platform better. I truly believe that. I think that it is getting more and more popular because of you. You know, even though you ladies have my black ass up here and I talk all kinds of shit. But by now, you ladies are used to it. I mean, you understand that X is somewhat crazy, and that that doesn't bother you at all at this point. You're used to it. So I think that we're complex family, but we are a good family. It's like it's sort of like the Munsters. Sort of like the Munsters. Everybody's got their little quirks or whatever, but at the end of the day, they're all family. So that
Well, thank you for saying that. Because when I look around these YouTube streets and I see the retelling of the inception of our show and how we all got together, I see people rewriting history and misrepresenting the narrative. So I do appreciate you saying those things, because this was something you were looking to do on your platform, on your channel, and thought that we would be a good fit
Yep.
based off of the positive characteristics you identify within each of us individually and as a collective. Because somewhere, people, how they do, they see what they want to see, hear what they want to hear, and create what they want to create. But I
well, I
appreciate you saying it.
well, I got 3 words for those people, Lady Ming. Those 3 words are, well, actually, 4 words. Kiss my black ass. I got those are the words that I have for those people. If y'all got a minute, I want to show y'all something, because I took some we got a minute, right? I want to show y'all something. Let me see if I can do this without screwing it up. Let me see. Okay. Can y'all see that? Can y'all see that?
Yes.
Yeah.
Okay.
Mm-hmm.
This is film that I just took at my new building that I acquired. Now, of course, there's a lot of shit all over the place, but I'm in the process of cleaning it. don't
Oh,
look
okay.
don't look at the roughness of it. Just envision it clean. Yeah, just envision it clean. Yeah, this is the new building. Um, I wanted to show you ladies this tonight. I want to share this with my audience and share it with y'all. I just kind of walked around, with my camera. And, I want to show everybody. I'm probably going to end up putting this on the channel at some point, but I wanted to, just kind of walking around. You can't hear the audio. I wish I could play the audio for y'all, but I'm actually talking. I'm saying, look at the new shop, y'all. Isn't it grand?
Mm-hmm.
That's what I'm saying. Because, you see it now, it's really, really rough. There's a lot of shit in there that I got to pull out of there and all that kind of crap. But just imagine it clean. Now, behind that, wait a minute. You see that blue thing right there? Towards that way is where the studio area is going to be, like towards the back of that blue thing, that blue board or whatever it is. That's like where the studio area is going to be, like over there. See, once I move all that shit out of there, and once that's out, a lot of shit got to come out. Now, a lot of this stuff is going to stay, because a lot of this stuff is stuff that I actually need. Pipe benders and sandblasters and welders and stuff like that, because all that stuff is coming with the building when I acquired it. So, but a lot of that shit has to go. Like that big ass thing in the back, that big ass planer is out of there. Those big ass boards right there are out of there. There's a lot of shit that's gotta go, boxes and shit like that. But it's gonna be nice, y'all. I'm telling you, it's gonna be nice. I know it looks a little rough, but I'm working on it. Trust me, I'm working on it. So I just want to share this with y'all, because y'all are people, because we're family. I wanted to I want to show y'all what I'm working on, what I got going on. And it's actually a really, really big space. It actually looks a lot bigger.
Big.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, it's very big. And that's gonna be the home of TPO T. And on the other side, I'm gonna have my shop, my second shop, of course. This building here is probably about 3 to 4 times the size of the shop I have now. I'm going to keep both shops. This is going to be more of a commercial building. My other shop is going to be for more residential stuff. I actually started moving stuff over there today. I'm moving some commercial stuff over there. So I mean, it's going to be a good thing. And once I get some of this crap out of here, I'll be taping it, and I'm going to be showing everybody the studio layout and all the stuff like that that's going to be in there. So y'all will see it. It's a working process. Like I said, I know it looks a little rough and crowded with a bunch of shit right now, but just imagine it clean. That's all I can. Just imagine it clean. But I'm working on it because there's, like I said, there's a lot of shit in there that just has to come out. Some of that stuff's getting thrown away. Some of it I'm keeping, of course. Right now I'm talking about how, because we may be making a second level, maybe making a loft in it. I may even put the studio part in the loft part. I don't know just yet. I just acquired the building. I haven't had it for long. I just acquired the building. I haven't had it for a long time. So, I'm still in the process of working on it, y'all. But it's gonna be nice. And like I said, that's where I'm going to be I'm going to be broadcasting from there. Once I get myself right. There's a lot of work that needs to be done, but I hope to be doing shit out of it within the next couple of weeks, because I want to try to be in there by no later than the first or second week of July. So I mean, that's what I'm working on now. So
well, it's really exciting. Congratulations again.
Yes, thank you very much. I just want to I just want to share that with y'all, because see, we are the TPO T family, and that's the future headquarters of TPO T. I just want to say this before we cut out, ladies. Over the course of the last couple of weeks, and I talked about this last night, and I'm not going to talk about it long. I'm only going to talk about it for a couple of minutes. Over the course of the last couple of weeks, there's been a lot of bullshit on these YouTube streets, as we refer to them as. There's been some bullshit. And last night, I apologized to my audience and my folks, for, because I don't just represent myself as as the man of TPO T. I represent everybody who is a part of it, and that includes you ladies as well. So I want y'all to know that from here on in, we're going to be strictly business. We back to business. I said this last night. We back to business. And I want to apologize to all of y'all, because indirectly, I drew y'all into it too. Because when I draw TPO T into something, I draw everybody who's a part of it into it. You ladies, Teach, all of you, I draw all of y'all into it. And those of you who've been following me for a while, y'all know I try not to get myself, in the bullshit unless it's necessary, And over the past couple of weeks, I found myself in the midst of a lot of the YouTube street bullshit. And I just want y'all to know that TPO T is done with that shit. All right, we done with that. Now, if we got to fire a few shots at somebody, we will. But we only going to do that when they fire some shots at us, and those shots happen to hit us, hit our car, or hit our house. You understand what I'm saying? So, I mean, I just want to let y'all know that, because like I said, I don't really get involved with the bullshit. I got myself sucked into that shit, and usually I don't address it. I don't pay it no mind, but I had to let people know that fucking TPO T ain't no fucking soft target. All right. It's far from that. All right. Because I'll jump on this motherfucking, tear anybody a brand new ass at any given time. And I can do it at the drop of a dime. And I know the ladies on my team are capable of that as well. But that being said, that's not what we about. That's not what TPO T is about. That's not what I'm about. And that's not what the ladies on this team is about. And I want my audience to know that. And I want to say that in front of these ladies, because I said it last night. And I just wanted y'all to know that, we're going to be back to business, and ain't going to be no more of that bullshit. And that's pretty much it. All right. So.
Well, if I could just say one thing.
Go ahead. Say what y'all want. Go ahead. Go ahead.
Because at the end of the day, what the bullshit to me, at least, so far as I can see it, and something that I just want to address, because what I don't like at the end of the day, and I think I've said this on other platforms as well, is I don't like the way that they are dragging Ming's name through the mud for doing something that realistically I would have been doing, except Ming was already handling it. So it was all right. I didn't need to. I could fall back and wait while she was speaking, and she handled it beautifully, exactly the way I would have handled it. At the end of the day, we just spoke about the fact that on this platform, we are a family. We are here. Everyone spoke about the unity and the respect that we have for each other. We're not here to debate points. We're not here to become king of the castle, who's right and who's wrong and whatever. That's not what we're about. And so when we come in here and we share respectfully, at the end of the day, what we need, if we're going to build that unity on this platform and amongst the ladies, and if we are going to have an understanding between the ladies and between the men, it's going to be because we're not going to have people coming in and trying to sow seeds of discord, or trying to come in with their disrespectful selves, with their disrespectful agendas that we know that they have always seething in the background, who are going to come here and try to use us as fodder. I don't appreciate that, using Ming as fodder, because I have a lot of respect for Ming. I have a lot of respect for all of the work that Ming has done in her life and how far she's brought herself, and what I know that she goes through as well. I have a lot of respect. I look up to her. I hope that I can pull myself together as well as she has. And I don't have the kids that I have to contend with right now. I got a husband. I don't have the kids. And I just think about, I know what Ming has to go through. She's got fibro and whatever, and my health issues. And I think to myself, like, damn, I wish I could pull off half of what she does. So
Thank you, Ruby.
to me, you're welcome, because
The
it's true.
respect is mutual.
Thank you. And I gotta say, at the end of the day, that if anyone thinks on any level that I don't stand for what Ming said, I would have been saying the exact same thing. I wish I could have said it as well, but I would have been saying the exact same thing to him and to his views, his opinions. You know what? We're all out here on the YouTube streets. We can all hear what people think and what people say, and we know who's going to be a positive addition to the discussion and who isn't there to be a positive addition to the discussion. So I just wanted to say that, because I haven't really spoken out about it, but I figure since it started here, I should say it here, that there's absolutely in no way, shape, or form can you sit there, you want to drag Ming's name through the mud, take me with her. Because at the end of the day, I would have said the exact same thing. I felt the exact same way. And you want to sit there and you want to twist and misconstrue the points to try to make it seem as though Ming did something wrong or said something wrong or came off on some different level, whatever. That's not what it is. Rewatch the tapes and then listen to all the bullshit flying around and realize that there's a whole lot of deflection, because Ming was right and some people don't like it.
Well, I would like to say that, first of all, thank you for the apology. I graciously accept it. We know what we're about, you know what I'm saying, over here. And I'm going to second that emotion. First of all, never let it be said that Ming was on an island by herself.
Correct.
She just beat us. She beat me to the punch. That's all she did, was beat me to the punch. Okay? So never let it fucking be said that she was on a damn island, because that's my sister. And when you drag her, you drag me. When you come for her, you come for me. And when you come for the motherfucking queen, you better not miss. So with that being said, I second everything she said, how it went down before, during, and after. All right. Anybody that don't like it, guess what? She don't give a shit. Do you understand me? Okay. I don't care what anybody thinks about how we move, how we operate, what our character is. And character assassination is a real big pet peeve of mine. I don't like no character assassinations. But at the same time, I have to give a fuck about you to give a fuck about your opinion. Okay? So you can take that how you want to.
We
And
missing
if
the
So I'm
first
gonna
I'm
give
part of
you
that
some
mad,
more. I'm
equation.
gonna give you some more motherfucking fodder. Since you want to drag her name through the mud, drag man. I got 10 babies. I got 12 baby daddies. I got all them
Right.
motherfuckers on child support. I have Section 8, nigga.
Right.
Now what the fuck? Okay, I'm gonna
right,
talk what you
right.
talking about.
And
Yeah,
if
I
I
had to.
may,
Go ahead. Go ahead.
um,
Go ahead.
well, I just simply don't like the fact that he can't answer a simple fucking straight question. It's like all she asked was, "Do you respect the women on the panel?" Okay, just say yes or no. Like you don't have to keep going doing all this circular stuff and then when you get booted, throw a temper tantrum on your channel and try to lie on this woman. Ming
Mhm.
wasn't being disrespectful to what's his face. All she did was ask him a simple question. And now he's got all these dudes over there, trying to insinuate all this shit about her. And it's just a bunch of bull crap. Like, so at the end of the day, I think he's a very dishonest person
Mhm.
and he he really needs to do some soul searching. And yeah, that's all I
Yeah.
have to
No,
say
you know what?
about that.
More than he's dishonest, though, he's a coward. Because you know what? All
Hmm.
he had to do is sit there and be like, no, I don't find these
Yep.
women beautiful. No, I don't
Hmm.
respect them. I'm not here to respect them or to find them beautiful, but no, I don't. Because that's what I would have done. I would have stood right there and let you know, let it be known, this is what I think, this is what I feel, this is what I stand for. So you can't stand for what you have a whole platform. You don't stand for what you're running your mouth about every single day. You can't stand up in front of four ladies and one of your brothers and say, nah, sorry, no, I don't think that the women on your panel are beautiful. You can think what you want, but no, I don't think so. No, I don't respect women. I don't even respect you because I don't respect anyone. Because this is what he said.
Hmm.
Angry man beat it out of him, basically. He finally said it. So you're a coward then. And that's what the problem
Over there
is.
misleading the cavalry. They following somebody who's not even
Yeah.
real. He's not even
Right,
real.
Well,
right.
You over there
And to
following
keep
him.
it
That's the most
100,
ridiculous shit ever.
Mm-hmm.
it seems
These
like
niggas ain't real. These
it
niggas
seems
ain't
like
even
he just
real.
doesn't like any of us because we're associated with Angry Man. I mean, that's just what it really feels like. And when he came into the chat room, I thought it was odd. That's all I'm gonna say about that. I'm just like, you've never been here before, but all of a sudden you've conveniently found your way into this chat room. But okay,
Mm-hmm.
well,
whatever, dude.
like I said, motherfuckers get it crossed up, thinking that this is some fucking soft target. TPO T ain't no fucking soft target. All you got to do is go back in my archives. You'll see that this is not a soft target. It's just that we talk about a lot of different shit. There's a lot of elements to this platform. I have a lot of ladies on this platform. That's nothing new. This is old shit. You fucking nigger hoes. You need to kind of figure that out. And for the record, don't fuck with TPO T, man. Don't, motherfucker. Okay, the ladies are being nice about it, motherfucker. I won't. I won't. So don't fuck with TPO T. You know. Um, yeah. Good show. Good show tonight, ladies. As always. Um, I appreciate everybody stopping by tonight. What I want y'all to do, I want you to get your black behinds down there to the old Prophet of Thought series Facebook page, that main page. I mean, the numbers are climbing, y'all. I need y'all to do it. Also, get to the TPOT bandwagon page. Send us a friend request. I'll make sure that request gets accepted quickly, very quickly, and also find your way down there to the Proper Thought Series fan group page on Facebook. That's right, the Proper Thought Series fan group page on Facebook. There's always some good stuff down there. You get on those pages, you can catch up with me, you can catch up with the U4. And also there's almost 3,000 people in there. Come on, let's get it up to 3Gs, y'all, before the month's out. Can't believe that many of y'all listen to my shit. I am flattered. What's wrong with you people? Yeah, get on down there, check it out. There's a lot of good stuff that goes on there. Like I said, it's not just my stuff, it's other people in the group. They post stuff, so you ain't just gotta listen to old X run his mouth and talk shit. there's other people down there running their mouth and talking shit too. Also, check us out on WhatsApp and Instagram. That's Proper Thought on Instagram. Go ahead, follow us on Instagram. You guarantee to get a follow back when my ass get around to checking it. And also, make sure you find yourself down there at that Twitter page. We talk about this every damn week. It's at TPO T Media on Twitter. That's at TPO T Media on Twitter. Follow us on Twitter, or I'm going to haunt your ass in your sleep for the next 50 years. So get on down there and follow us on Twitter. That's at TPO T Media. Also, get on down there and jump on the website. The website is www.don'teventryiit.wikifoundry.com. That's www.don'teventryiit.wikifoundry.com. There's a lot of good stuff up there. I'm always building on it. You can catch up with the U4 there as well. They each have a small bio page of their own, describing all their personalities. And also there's an animated GIF on each one of their pages. I think y'all will get a kick out of that. And you can also catch my black ass down there. You can see my old archives from Anubia Hood radio days, and also read a bio about what TPO T Media is about. And also coming to the website soon, Teacher Tanisha's online store. That's right, because Teach, she's been doing a little entrepreneurship lately. She's got a lot of stuff going on her online store, and what I'm going to be doing is I'm going to be transferring a page onto the Proper Thought Series website, and you'll be able to catch up with Teacher Tanisha and see what kind of merchandise she's got. She's got a lot of, she sells a lot of shit, y'all. I mean, Teach sells bracelets, earrings, stones, soap, hats, boxes, socks. I mean, all kinds of shit. Herbs. I mean, too much shit to list, y'all. Too much. But that's coming soon. I'm hoping by the end of this week, I will have it all gridded up, and y'all can go up there and check out Teacher Tanisha's online store. And if you use the code TPOT, of course, she's going to give you like a 5 to 10% discount on anything you order. And she's got a lot of nice shit. Boy, do she got a lot of it, boy. I mean, she's been really doing her thing, y'all. So be on the lookout for that. But anyway, like I said, good show tonight, y'all. I appreciate everybody in the chat for showing up tonight, my moderators, and I also appreciate y'all and thank y'all for showing up tonight. On your way out of here, make sure you go ahead and hit this old like button right here. And also on your way out of here, if you don't mind, go ahead and put a few coins in this here bucket, because I know y'all know this is worth money. So I want to thank y'all for showing up. And also what I want to do is thank my team, the U4, the Ladies of Thought, Lady Classic, Lady Cats, Lady Kendra, and Lady Ming, the Unicorn 4, always laying down a good show up in here. So make sure you have your black behinds up in here next week, same time, same station, for another T.L.O.T. throwdown. I don't know. We might do a little freestyle next week, ladies. I don't know. I'm still thinking about what I got planned for next week. You know, I try to come with topics that kind of mix it up, because I don't want people to be like, oh, they talked about the same thing last week. You know, so I try to mix it up. I don't know what we're going to do next week, but we're going to have a little fun next week. So look forward to that. So make sure y'all have y'all black behinds here for the old T.L.O.T. broadcast right here on the old TPOT YouTube page. You know. Anyway, with that, I will leave you with 3 words. Like I always do, you know what? I'll let T say it for me.
Open your mind.
All right, good night, y'all.
Yep.
Good
Cheers.
night, everybody.
Good
Great.
night, everyone.
Until next time.
Open your mind.
Peace, folks.
Lady Kendra, Lady Cat, Lady. The unicorn.